Kate Elliott is just one of those authors for me that just never disappoints. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about The Nameless Land by Kate Elliott, which is the sequel and the final book in the Witch Roads duology. First book being The Witch Roads, and I am super late to this because I, despite being so excited to get to this one and having an e-arc, ended up just not realizing how fast the month of October went because I was trying to wait a little closer to release, so it was really fresh. But I'm just still, I'm very, very excited to finally be able to talk about it because after I started it, it was so hard to put down and just some really, really, really goodness. Now, I meant to have this out prior to, but I did not. So if you do want to hear more, I did have Kate Elliott on the channel on Book Chats and Beyond over the weekend. And so you can check that out if you want to hear more. We will have talked about this as well as some other stuff. So lots of good stuff there too. Great conversation. I know when I talked to her last time, this will come out after that, but also I'm filming this the day of before we had that. So anyway, back to The Nameless Land. So the Nameless Land picks up immediately where the Witch Roads leads off, and there's just quite a lot going. And the big thing here is the Witch Roads did what Elliott is really, really great with doing, is starting off, we have some interesting world building, we're seeing things, but then it's as we go, we get more and more, and we really start to see what's just like what's out there, and it's so much more than we realized. And in book two, we already have set up so much stuff, so the pace of this one is just blistering fast. At least to me, it was so hard to put down. And this is not a like overly long book either. So even if you just compare the two, the second book is a little bit shorter. And I think just really showing that Kate Elliott can absolutely go with the fast pace, go get things done quickly. And what she's done here in this duology, honestly, I think you could have turned this into a longer series, and I would have loved it. There's more that you could expand, but it also is just really satisfying reading such a good, complete story and being able to have it finished in 2 books. So that's just, it was a really great time doing that. And it's Elliott, the things that she specializes in, I think, work really well here. I do think that this duology, if you're kind of looking for a place to start Kate Elliott, I think this is a really good spot. This is not going to, not all of her stuff is going to be in the same exact style, but just the things that she does with really fantastic world building, with really deep character focused writing while still exploring the worlds, while still having really interesting plots. Just a lot of the stuff that she does that I love. You get to see here. And then if you're really sold here and you're like, ooh, I really want to check out more, then you have things like you can jump into Crown of Stars, which is 7 books, bigger commitment. But she also has some novellas too, and has just done a lot of different stuff in sci-fi and fantasy. So really, really great author to check out. The Nameless Land, though, is now another thing. So I did a review for Daughter of No World, so it's just technically romantic, even though it wasn't super romance heavy, and I ended up liking that, which was surprising. Now, The Nameless Land, this book, has a pretty important romantic subplot that I was also like so much more invested in than I would have thought. And the way that it's done, it's beautiful, it's tragic, and it's just very important to the plot as well. So this is not a romance book by any means, but it's just something that really had me pulled in. And this book is just, there are a lot of twists and turns, and there's some things you definitely see coming, there's some things you definitely will not. And everything that it does with the continued on of seeing more of the world and the world building. We get to see some more of these different types of people, for lack of a better term, because there are people slash sort of creatures and hybrid things all kind of throughout. We get to see more of that, more of the world, find out a little bit more of the history, and we're also getting more of like the politics and the scheming and the travel and all of just the cool stuff here. There's just so much more of it here. And I think too, the big thing, which has been, and we talked about this when I had Kate Elliott on the show before, um, a big thing that she focuses on is just people being people, the everyday kind of normal stuff. That's something she's explored, especially with women in a lot of her books, but it's just something that I think for me, and it's one of those things that may not land for everybody, but for me, it makes it feel so much more real. It makes the characters feel so much more real and really adds something and just works for me really well. And you get that here with well, but little things like characters. Like you do get plenty of references to characters going to the bathroom. It's a normal thing that people have to do. And you know, if you're in a interesting situation where you're like on the run and like on boats, for example, you still have to go to the bathroom, and it might not be the easiest. And there's things like that, and little bits of just everyday people being people. And the idea of people just being people is a really important thematically in this series as well. We see multiple cultures there. There's this very defined hierarchy, and the top are like the most important, and if you're, you know, lower, you might as well not even exist unless you're important enough. And there's lots of discussion about like the different levels of princes, because you have like the prince of the third estate or the fifth estate or the sixth. There's a lot of it. There's discussion here. And as we learn more about the Nameless Land as well, we see more of kind of what's there, and we had some flashes of that in the first book as well too, where again you have like the masters and then everyone else, and then you have the least of the least that aren't even treated as people. And it's just a lot of this is exploring that thematically, that people, no matter their situation, their station, are still people. And it's not at all, it never feels like that's a heavy-handed theme or like it's even being shoved at you. You just see it through the interactions of the characters, and it's just really done so well. And this is one of those things where this is a sequel. I'm being very vague and not doing any spoilers for this, even for the first book, because if you're watching this and you have not read the first book, please go read it. I've been a big Kate Elliott advocate for a long time, but this is Kate Elliott on the top of her game. It's got so much great epic fantasy feel, world building, characters. It's got also though, even though some of her like Chronostar is a little bit more classic fantasy in style, this is definitely more on the modern side, but it just still works. It's still so good, and so I think this is going to really appeal to a wide variety of people. It's more in the modern styling. It's more fast paced, at least book two. The first book is slower paced, and I'm a big fan of that. And I think the slower pace of the first book allows the second book to be so quick. But it's just has a lot of things that I think people will appreciate and enjoy. And so, yeah, like I said, I think this is a great spot. If you aren't sure where to start with Kate Elliott, you can definitely start here. If you don't want to jump into a longer series, or like I said, she has novellas too, which I think do work. And she has multiple other trilogies and stuff too. But Kate Elliott is an author that I will be slowly working my way through all of her backlog of stuff, and definitely be reading anything else that she ends up putting out in the future as well. And I've enjoyed my time here. And the Nameless Land is great. It's funny, it's heartfelt, it's tragic. It just encompasses so many emotions, so many fantastic character moments. It's such an interesting world that has some elements that are familiar and some elements that are completely foreign, and all of these things just welded into some singular, just fascinating story. And it's a really great time, guys. Really, really should check it out. So check out The Witch Roads and The Nameless Land, both out now. And if you're an audio person too, Nameless Land I think is in February. The audio will come out. Witch Roads has audio out now. Check these out. If you want to hear me and Kate Elliott chatting more, you can check the one we just did. That'll be right before this as well. And also that previous conversation, which was great as well. But yeah, so definitely go there. Let me know your thoughts if you have read these in the comments. And otherwise, if you haven't, like I said, go check them out. That's it for this one, though. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the links in the description, as always, for the Patreon if you want to support what I do, as well as the Wizard of the Enclave Discord if you want to chat books, whether this book, other books, really anything at all. It's a lot of fun. We'd love to have you. And, of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.